Top of the morning to you, laddies and lassies. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. Where else am I going to celebrate in St. Louis but Helen Fitzgerald's?
It's a beautiful day, don't you know? It's a beautiful day.
This is The Thread.
My stomach is ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with some corned beef and cabbage. Helen Fitzgerald's 27 years they've been serving St. Louis.
Here, sir, your menu.
Brad!
Tim, what's going on?
What's up, my man?
How you
How
doing?
are you? Sit down.
What are you doing here? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Hanging out with my friends at the Redheads this morning.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I already know what I want.
Oh, yeah.
Corned beef and cabbage.
We got good corned beef and cabbage, and got great Reubens here, too.
You got it all. 27 years. Does St. Patrick's Day ever get old for you guys here?
Oh, it never does. Never does. Always fun here. Always a great time.
What a tradition. Hey, and speaking of traditions, I was in Jerseyville, Illinois recently for an amazing event and tradition they have there. St. Baldrick's.
Oh.
Today we have about 46 kids shaving their head. Every day there are 7 kids that pass away from cancer. There are about 46 kids that are diagnosed with cancer. And so it's kind of ironic that we have 46 kids today. I think we have a lot to learn from kids. They're a great example of just selfless love. They don't question, they just give. There's no ulterior motive for them.
These kids get it. They understand why they're doing it. They're not just here just to shave their heads. They know that they're helping and they're making a difference, and that's the important thing.
The fact that little ones have enough thought to think of someone other than themselves is just, it's amazing.
It's amazing to know that just every little dollar amount helps.
All of that funding goes to research for all these kids who are diagnosed, and these kids deserve a life ahead of them. They might be the ones that find the cure for cancer, you never know.
And our community always supports the people in it and what they're going through.
A lot of people with children with cancer have this innate need to give back somehow, just because of all the support that we receive. St. Baldrick's actually started with a friend of mine whose son had cancer. I attended the event, and at the time, my son was diagnosed with cancer as well.
Well, I had a son who had neuroblastoma cancer. His name was Mark Thomas Whitman. He was 1 year old when he was diagnosed, and he was just 2 when he passed.
Our oldest son, William, was 9 when he passed away. He was diagnosed the day that he passed away with T-cell ALL. We didn't know he was sick. We didn't know he had cancer. We didn't know anything was wrong.
Tell me why you wanted to shave your head today.
To help childhood cancers.
What person were you thinking of when you did it?
William Hayes,
Who is?
my big brother.
Every time you hear of another family, losing a child or diagnosed with cancer, it's like it happens all over again. And it's just, it's hard to describe, but yeah.
They have been amazing. It's comforting to know that you're not the only one, that you have someone that you can talk to, that you can turn to when you have questions, or you're feeling sad, or you need someone that's been there, knows what you're going through.
So cool to see that community coming together. And in so many ways. Lisa Wargo, the coordinator of that event, she also started her own nonprofit called Noah's Rays of Hope, where she's moving to the needs of those families who are dealing with cancer in a powerful way.
I started a nonprofit here in Jerseyville. We started just with reaching out to local families their children have been diagnosed with cancer. It's just great to see a family who may be struggling. They're at the hospital every day of the week, and where's their food coming from? So we like to give hospital cafe cards or gas cards for transportation. We started an Isaac's Little Wishes program, and we help families enjoy some time together. We've had a girl take some friends to a concert. We've had another little girl who wanted to go to a gymnastics event. I hope I'm serving them the best that I can. Yeah, I'm not a professional or anything, but I try and do what I can with what I have.
Such a heart to serve. And you may have seen another familiar face in those pictures from the event. Remember Kimberly Wade with Kids Shouldn't Have Cancer? She's also right there in Jerseyville, and she's connected to this event and had some great news to share about a partnership they have with St. Baldrick's.
It brings back memories to me that are so wonderful of my son Johnny, who that's all he cared about. He would say, you know, I would do this all over again if it would save another child's life. So it's just selflessness all around in this room. We just had St. Baldrick's reach out to us, the Kids Shouldn't Have Cancer Foundation, and ask us to partner with them on a specific pediatric cancer research trial. So I am so excited to announce that to everyone here, that their efforts and their support mean change for us, real change for all these children that need a voice. We'll have our own combined award that we're going to be giving to a researcher. And so we are so excited, and just know that this is going to really be an advancement to pediatric cancer. I've traveled that road. I hope it's a different road for them than my path that God has given me. You feel so alone when you have your child diagnosed with cancer. It's horrible. And so I just reach out to them and say, we're going to make this, we're going to change this. We're going to take our ashes and we're going to make beauty out of them. That's what our mission is.
So cool to see the community come together like that, and to see the threads of people we've done stories with in the past, how they're serving people that we're doing stories with now, and how they all weave together. And that's St. Baldrick's. What a great organization.
You know, St. Baldrick's, I'm involved with that too. And I know Deborah too, as a matter of fact, you know? What? We had a nurse, her name was Laura Wolf, and she came to me about 17 years ago and mentioned St. Baldrick's and said they've been looking for an Irish place to host an event where they could shave heads for cancer for children to find a cure. And that's how it all began. I saw a picture of Mark, and he was so cute, you know, and so, well, it turned out that we lost Mark that December, right before our first event in March. And I just made a connection there. I shaved my head in honor of Mark.
It's just amazing to know that one little boy changed so many people's lives.
What thoughts go when you look at that picture, when you look at
I wish he was driving today. I wish he was driving on his 16th birthday. That's what I think. We're all here for each other. We're all here to support each other. That's why I love St. Louis, because it's a big city, but it's a small town, you know, and we all look out for each other. And community's everything. Without community, what do you got?
And I think that was what we saw when we were there with Brett, is that, you know, he can do this, and the community can come together. And we need to do this in order to make a difference for these kids that are going through cancer.
We shaved 500 heads this past Saturday, and we're about 400,000 money raised year to date. So it's just been unbelievable. Since the inception, we started 16 years ago, we've raised $5.5 million. We had some grandmothers and daughters shave their heads. I mean, it was just really a touching event, really a great event. We got little kids that are cancer survivors that do it for their friends that are going through the treatment right now, and honor their friends, that support their friends, you know? So they're all heroes. Everybody up on that stage is a hero to me, that's for sure.
What a small world. I mean, you here and your connection to Deborah at the event in Jerseyville, and 16 years later, how many did you have this last event?
Close to 500 people, they shaved their heads this year.
Wow. Man, over 16 years, you've had a lot of hair hit the floor here.
Oh, we have.
Hey, speaking of hair hitting the floor, did you see my Super Bowl commercial this year?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no, neither did anybody else, but they should have, because remember when Doritos asked people to send in their own commercials for a while there?
Yeah.
We got together with Steve Pegram with Got Faith in Jerseyville and came up with this little ditty.
Who's next?
Easy, laddie. I didn't just come up a lagging on a bubble. You'll be taking the nose neighbor and the chin sweater, mitching like crazy. You see what I did with the shaving?
Yeah.
The lice.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we better see some real commercials.
Yeah, right. It's probably a good call. We'll be back in just a bit. With the lights and the shaving. Hey, Threadheads, you no doubt know Don Brown.
Don Brown Chevrolet. Don Brown Chevrolet. Don Brown Chevrolet.
And you probably know that Don has a flair for fashion and a knack for cars, but he also has a heart for people.
I learned from my father a long time ago, it's not about one person, it's about the entire community. It is a car business, but it's a people business. It's about the people. It's not about the products, it's about the people.
If you're in the market for a car, come to Don Brown, where it's people over process.
And we're proud to be part of the Thread family, and we'd love to be part of your family.
Hey, Threadheads, welcome to Season 3. I hope you're enjoying the show. We're so thankful to be here each and every Saturday morning on Fox 2. But we want to let you know, this is not a Fox 2 show. This is a nonprofit, independent 501c3 show. And we need your support to keep it going. Please go to our website, thethreadstl.com, hit the donate button, and help support this mission. If you believe in what we're doing, please help us continue to thread up, y'all.
Do you know someone who is committed to changing lives in your community? Well, don't keep it a secret. Tell us about it. We're always looking for story ideas from all around the area, and you can help us find them. If you know of a neighbor or a good Samaritan devoting their time and talents to helping others, then go to our website and send us an email to sowhat@thethreadstl.com. You can also contact us on our Facebook page, and you just might see it on the thread because we love sharing the good news happening all around our town.
It's hard to believe we're in Season 3 of The Thread, considering that in the beginning, Virginia and I knew next to nothing about owning a show or running a nonprofit. Circle of Advisors Securus has been a part of the Thread Circle of Advisors since day one, walking alongside us as we walk out this new journey that God has called us to. And if they can help a couple of hot messes like me in Virginia, they can certainly help you too.
Tim, we've been proud to walk alongside of the Thread, and we'd be honored to walk alongside of you too.
I am hungry, I gotta tell you.
Well, I'll tell you, we got that covered for you right now. So we got our Cyberg famous pizza, our Joe Mama's, our wings, our Cyberg famous shark chunks, our corned beef and cabbage, and our famous Reuben right here.
I gotta tell you what, man, I'm Helen Fitzgerald.
Oh, well.
I got my corned beef and cabbage. The only thing missing is
What? Well, look at
Irish
that.
dancing. I've been doing this for 16 years myself, Brett.
You're looking good, too.
Thank you. Hey, did I tell you about that ministry I stumbled upon
No.
called El Movimiento? They're mentoring young people through dance.
Tap, 5, 6, 7, double step. El Movimiento means the movement in Spanish. So basically what we're trying to do in the community, trying to spark a new movement. The dance is based on our faith, so it's a little bit different from what a lot of the other dance classes are offering. Trying to teach them Latin dancing, but we also want to integrate our faith. So before each class starts, we give them a character building. I just thought it was a wonderful way to teach kids how to interact with the opposite sex, especially the fellas how to be gentlemen, you know, so they can treat their partner, you know, like ladies. Trying to bring chivalry back.
It makes me learn more how to respect a woman and not misuse them.
They apply the lessons not only to how you can apply them to your regular life, but always how we apply them to our dance as well.
We get a lot of kids who've never been to church. They're not sure what faith is, so we get to instill that in them. That way when they start to dance, it's on a faith-based foundation.
God is our foundation, and how we build our life on His foundation and how we have our faith in Him. He's the one who came to save us. And we apply that in our dancing by knowing that our lead is our foundation. The ladies are the follow, and we follow their lead.
The most important is the lesson, because that's something that carries over in life. These are life-based lessons, principles that they can carry, whether they stick to this dance or not. Teach them how to interact, you know, with the real world, with their parents, their peers, school, especially when they grow up and the things they're going to be exposed to in the real world. So if they can get that outside the dance, then I think what we're doing here is, you know, it's a win-win situation. I mean, you're not trying to be the best you can be. You're trying to be more Christ-like. So just really learn that lesson of dying to yourself. You know, you may have had accolades and reputation from the past, but once God changes your life and gives you direction and purpose, all that goes by the wayside. Once these kids get it, once they build a generation, they can pass it on to other kids and spark a movement. I think through dance, you know, he's really showed himself to me, and just the different impact that I can have, you know, as a dancer and, you know, also being able to share my faith. People ask you, you know, why do you do what you do? Where's your passion come from? So I can say, well, I do this, but my true passion comes from, you know, my faith in God, and that opens up a conversation. I like to see these kids teaching. I like to see them travel, sharing their faith, enjoying the dance, and just, like I said, just sparking a new movement.
They're learning new movements to be a part of a new movement.
I like that. Yes, yes they are.
Whew. Those young ladies wore me out with that dancing.
You did a great job too, though.
Oh, you're too kind. I tell you who does a great job is that ministry right there, they're moving me into. I mean, what they're doing, reaching those kids through their passion of dance and able to mentor them in a powerful, powerful way. Really cool.
So special, too, that you're involved in just such a special thing, I'll tell you what.
It is. It's really cool. Hey, how you liking that seat? You like
it's
that
okay.
one?
It's all right.
I got another seat for you.
Oh, no, I hope it's not the hot seat.
Oh, it's the hot seat,
Oh,
brought to you
no.
by Art Van Furniture. We got our buddy Brett Syberg in the hot seat, brought to you by Art Van Furniture. We got the O'Foylan Academy dancers to help you out, Brett. Okay, here's the deal.
Thank God.
30 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Clock will start after I ask the first question.
All right.
The category is St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
All right, you ready? All right, here we go. This color is worn prominently on St. Patrick's Day.
Green.
Yeah!
Thank you.
If you get caught not wearing green on St. Patrick's Day, what can someone do to you?
Make you drink.
Be pinched.
Oh, be pinched.
They
all
pinch you.
right.
All right, question number 3. This guy drove all the snakes out of Ireland.
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick, yeah!
Yay!
He drove them because he couldn't afford the airfare. All right, in the song, Danny Boy, what is calling? Oh, Danny Boy, the are calling.
Hey, you girls. Pipes?
Pipes, yes, absolutely.
Hey!
And what is Irish and stays out all night?
Me?
No, we will accept that.
sorry,
It's either
sorry.
Brett Syberg or patio furniture. It stays out on patio. Like
Yeah, patio
Patio-
furniture.
Patio. Okay, hey Brett, guess what? You just survived the hot seat, Art Van Furniture.
Today, scratch and save at Art Van Furniture and Mattress. Get up to an extra 25% off the lowest price with 0% for 20 months. Win $5,000 in cash, $3,000 room packages, and more. Only at Art Van Furniture and Mattress.
Scratch and save at Art Van Pure Sleep Mattress. Save up to $800 on mattresses, plus up to $300 reward cards, 0% up to 72 months, and free delivery. Scratch and win $5,000 in cash today at Art Van Pure Sleep Mattress.
Hey Threadheads, thanks for joining us this morning. Are you picking up on a theme here? We're like bringing joy, creating community, transforming lives. That's what this show is all about. We are so much stronger when we come together than we ever are when we separate and divide. We want to continue this mission. We want to help this city thread up and be the most it can be. So, you want to be a part of the team? You want to help us on that mission? Go to thethreadstl.com and learn how you can be a threadhead and help us thread up, y'all.
Our first mission is bring glory to God. That's why we're here. We have a talent, it just happens to be banking.
So M1 Bank is banking on a mission fueled by the power of purpose.
It gets a point in your life where you got to live it every day, not just believe it.
I'm believing that this is going to catch on and we're all going to thread up.
For us in our house, this is how we're going to serve the Lord and His purpose. And we're going to do it through the financial institution that happens to be called M1 Bank.
What? Our time's almost up together already? You mean I gotta wait till next Saturday? That's way too long. We gotta catch up during the week. I got a great idea. Hey, why don't you follow us on social media? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know, we've got content that doesn't actually fit on our 30-minute show, right? And we're adding new messages all the time. So follow us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's our way to keep up with you throughout the week. And we can thread up all week long. Follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. See you soon. Ooh, Brett, that was more than a meal, man. That was a feast.
I'm glad I could fill you up.
Oh, yeah, you did. It's always good, as usual.
Really appreciate it.
And you know what I love? I love seeing how this show, just seeing the threads of relationship throughout it. My friendship with you and coming and talking with you and being with you today and learning your relationship with St. Baldrick's and with the ladies who are running the one in Jerseyville, and then how they all weave together to move to the needs of the community, and I've got a friend that I used to work with at Fox 2 who has started a movement called What's It Feel Like? And she's gathering stories from people who have been through really hard things and sharing their struggles to help other people who are in a similar situation.
And it's really special.
I started doing it when I was 15 and overdosed when I was 15.
I was addicted from day one.
What's It Feel Like is a digital platform on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and it's a place where people can go and feel better. It's a place where they can connect to others, possibly hear stories that are familiar to what they're going through in life, and honestly, it's a place where people can feel less alone.
I've met some really awesome people, so that's helped a lot. And I've just realized that I'm less alone than I thought I was.
My daughter was 5 years old when she was diagnosed with severe anxiety, and I didn't know a lot of people that had kids that age with the clinical diagnosis. I mean, most kids were just throwing tantrums because they were 5. I sort of dealt with that silently for probably about a year until one day I put my story out on Facebook, and the support I got and the camaraderie and people that shared their stories about how they were going through something similar and how much they appreciated me sharing something so personal was completely and utterly therapeutic to me. And so I wanted to do something similar to that, but on a much larger scale. When we first released it, the response was so reaffirming. The response of, we need this out there on social media. We need people that are real. We need authenticity. It's almost like you're walking down a street all by yourself. You're on a road, you don't see any houses, you don't see, and all of a sudden a gas station pops up or some cars come or people join you. You don't feel like you're on that road alone anymore, and it makes a huge difference. Maybe there's people out there that they're very private people and they just don't want to talk about stuff to other people, but they can go here and they can just watch a video and feel immediately less alone or get a different perspective that they haven't had before. We all have disruptive things in our lives, and we also have really good things to celebrate. I don't want to always just talk about bad things. We all have things going on in our lives, and I don't want anybody to have to go through the hills or the valleys alone. There's no parenting book on how to treat a child with anxiety, and severe anxiety at that. So never did I think when she was diagnosed with this that I would then come up with an idea that might be able to help others in all other aspects in life. My sister's a teacher, my other sister's in social work, and I've always looked at what they do as they're making a difference. And I never really saw a lot of times how the projects that I were involved in, I didn't know if they were always making a difference. And maybe they did, but I didn't feel as fulfilled within me. It's re-energized my soul with what I do, and it makes me happy that I'm hopefully gonna come to work every day and touch somebody, hopefully, through the people that we meet. My pastor said to me on Sunday, I'm really enjoying What's It Feel Like, Laura. You know, you're really ministering to people. You're really helping people. You gotta keep up doing the Lord's work. And when my pastor said that to me, I was like, wow, like, I guess in a way I really am, and I didn't really realize it until my pastor pointed that out to me and told me. So it feels good, and I really hope that we can keep it going.
What a mission. And they've had more than 100,000 views across the United States, in Canada, and the UK as well. And it all started with Laura's own pain and suffering, her owning it, embracing it, and sharing it with others. How about those folks with the St. Baldrick's event? Many of them touched by cancer in their own lives, moved to share their experience and their hope with other families that are walking a similar path. How about Brett Seiberg? St. Baldrick's needed a location, and he stepped up. And then those kids and those families stepped right into his heart, and they've been there for 16 years, and he continues to do whatever he can to help. How about David Blake with El Movimiento? They're not only walking out their faith for these young people, they're dancing it out, demonstrating what a faith walk and dance looks like. You know, in Matthew 16:24, Jesus says, take up your cross and follow me. Our cross is our pain and our suffering. And when we own it and embrace it and recognize that's who we are and part of who we are, and we follow him, it can become a source of healing for ourselves and for others. There was a time when my sister was suffering a consecutive number of miscarriages. And it was a painful, frustrating, difficult time for her. And she got quite angry with God from time to time as well. But as she began to walk that healing path, she began to heal. And soon after, she began to have a friend that was going through the similar situation, and then another person and another. It was amazing how many people she was able to move to with her experience and her strength and her hope that she had gained by walking that path, and minister to others, stepping right into their pain with them because she'd been there before. It's what it's all about. It's that stepping in It's that entering into relationship. Isn't it great that Jesus doesn't say, take up your cross and you're on your own, hit the road, Jack. He says, take up your cross and follow me. And it's by following him and turning it over to him that the healing begins and we enter into a relationship. It's that stepping in. God didn't leave the world at an arm's length when it was in its pain and suffering. He stepped right in. He sent his son, Jesus Christ, to step right into the midst of our mess and take on our suffering, to die for us so that we may have everlasting life with him. He stepped right in. It's through his suffering that we're saved. And then he tells us in John 13:34, Jesus says, as I have loved you, go love one another. In other words, now you go minister to other people the way I've ministered to you, which is through your suffering. Well, that brings us to the end, but not the end. Remember that Doritos commercial we did a little earlier in the show? Here's a different version.
Who's next?
Easy, laddie, the suits are rental. I've been donating it all for the kids. Take it all off.
Spot Media Production Group.